Are you ready for another action-packed, controversial comment section filled tier list video? What's up guys, this is Untitled. Welcome back to another tier list video for Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and for 3DS. This particular tier list video is going to be for patch 1.12, so this is tier list 1.12. So I wanted to wait for a while till I made another tier list video because I wanted this particular patch to be out for a while. Because in this patch we got a new shield mechanics, so shield stun has increased on moves that are stronger and decreased for moves that are weaker. There's videos out there that'll show you what that actually means, but essentially shielding was different in this game for a while. So I wanted to see how everyone reacted to that using their characters and things. So I think after all that time, I think I've pretty much come up with a pretty fair tier list, I think. The hardest part about this, though, was the middle part of the tier list, because the middle part of the tier list, you get kind of characters that are almost there, then kind of good, then kind of not. So if you're going to disagree with anything here, it more than likely will be in the mid part of the tier list. But just be warned, that is like the hardest part about the tier list. Like that's like, geez, that took so much time for me to do. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and go through each of the letters on the tier list because this is a part where people can get misunderstandings with how great or how not so great their character is. So I want to give a little bit of an explanation first so that everyone can get a pretty good idea of what I mean when I put these characters in their certain spots. S tier essentially means that the characters are the best characters in the game and they don't really need another secondary to back them up because they're so great. A tier means that the character is very viable and more than likely doesn't need another character to back them up because the character is so good. They kind of have a little bit of iffy matchups here and there too, but it ultimately means that they're pretty much solo viable. B tier meaning that the character is solo viable but might need some help from some secondaries, but the characters aren't bad at all. They're pretty good and they can stand on their own, but sometimes some matchups might be a little bit difficult, so they might need another secondary to back them up. C tier means that the character is solo viable but pretty much needs a secondary to cover up some bad matchups. The character isn't bad themselves, but some matchups for them can be pretty difficult, so they need someone there to back them up. Now D tier means that the character is barely solo viable and you really should have a secondary and probably a tertiary character to back them up. E tier means that the character is more than likely not solo viable and you're more than likely not going to do anything great with the character unless you have a secondary or tertiary character to back them up. F tier means that the character is not that viable at all and you're going to need some characters to help them out because they probably will not be able to do it on their own. Starting off our tier list in S tier are Sheik and Zero Suit Samus. Now, Sheik has not changed that much at all. The shield mechanics in this new patch has not really done anything that changed her at all, and so she's still the S tier character that we all know and love until she maybe is changed in the future. But until then, like she definitely is going to be the best character in the game. Now, in S tier, I've also put Zero Suit Samus. Now the reason why I did that is because this new patch has benefited Zero Suit Samus quite a bit. Because her aerials are very strong, she has some moves that are safer on shield, and because there's more shield stun too, her neutral air, the little whip thing, because it has an electrical effect, that move is a lot safer on shield now. And overall with Zero Suit Samus, no matter where you are on the stage, if you do something wrong and the ZSS player catches you for it and knows what they're doing, obviously, you can pretty much lose your stock. If you're on the edge of the stage or off stage, you can spike, or you can get spiked by a down smash to a down B, or some other thing that can pretty much eliminate your stock when you're off stage. It's dangerous off stage against Zero Suit Samus. And if you're in the middle of the stage, you can get down throw, up air, up bead if they read the DI. So there's so many things that Zero Suit Samus can do to eliminate your stock so early. And she has so many kill options that I can't put her in A tier because, I mean, that punish game is way too powerful. And she does have some little bit of iffy matchups here and there, but I feel that the punish game that she has really makes up for it, you know? Like, if she might have a couple of bad matchups here and there, or not even bad, but just slightly in somebody else's favorite matchups. But because her punish game is just astounding, I have to put it in S tier. Next, in A tier, I have put Rosalina, Pikachu, Mario, Fox, Sonic, Villager, Ness, Ryu, Diddy Kong, Luigi, and Meta Knight. I put Rosalina as the third best character in the game, but in A tier because she does have some matchups that can absolutely destroy her. ZSS and Pikachu do fairly well against Rosalina, and it can be a pretty hard matchup. And honestly, when you have the ability to take out Luma, I don't think you can be an S tier character. I cannot put her in S tier when you can take out half of her character at all. But she does have some excellent tools that puts her, I think, at top 3. Next I have Pikachu. Pikachu is astounding. Pikachu is a really great character. With the new patch, electrical moves are a lot more safer on shield, so that pretty much benefits Pikachu all around. Pretty up there. I mean, top 5 is pretty much it's a staple spot for Pikachu. Now, the bottom of top 5, this is a really hard one. I put Mario. The reason why I put Mario is because Mario does have some iffy bad matchups here and there, but overall he has a pretty good matchup spread, and he does very well in tournaments, and he has an extremely good combo game, and he has pretty good kill options too with his back throw, and most notably his up smash with invincibility and range. That move's incredible, and plus it's safe on shield now because of how the new shield mechanics work. So overall, I think Mario really is a top 5 character. Like, his combo game is way too good, and the fact that he can kill so well too, I have to put him up there. Next, I put Fox. Fox is astounding, and I would put him here. It was actually a really hard decision to put Mario where he is and Fox not there, but the reason why I did that is because of edgeguarding. Fox can't edgeguard at all. Mario can, and for that reason I put Fox as number 6. He's extremely powerful though, and I think that is a great spot for him. Next, I put Sonic as a pretty reasonable spot in my opinion. Villager. The reason why I put Villager so high is because of Renai in Japan. Renai is a Villager player who has pretty much dominated his country with the character. Amazing character Villager is, especially when you know the follow-ups, where you can get great bowling ball KOs and use all of Villager's tools with the down B and the axe. There's so many things that Villager has, and plus he has that combo throw now that really makes him a lot better of a character. Next, I put Ness because of back throw and how Ness all around is a really great character. The only thing about him though that honestly makes me want to put him a little bit lower is because of his matchup versus Rosalina. I honestly think that might be able to make him a little bit less than top 10, but because of how his other matchups aren't really as polarizing as the Rosalina one, I still had to put him in top 10. Now, finally in top 10, I put Ryu. Ryu, honestly, has shown over and over again that he is viable. He can get some really early KOs. He's powerful, dude. Like, he has so many things about him that just make him excellent. Like, his ability to rack up tons of damage really fast. His weight makes it so that he gets KO'd pretty early. Shoryuken has so much range to it. It's really hard to edgeguard Ryu. Overall, Ryu was extremely powerful, and dang, dude, with the new shield mechanics too, he has so many moves that are safer on shield, it's not even funny. Like, oh my gosh, dude. Like, you can stay in shield forever if you get hit by a forward air. It's insane. So I think Ryu is a top 10 character. He is certainly going to be a huge presence in the metagame as soon as the game goes on, I think. Then I put Diddy. Diddy's extremely powerful. The only thing about him though is that he can his kill power is greatly diminished, and it's really hard for Diddy to close out stocks at times. But overall, I think he's still pretty good. Luigi was nerfed, and he does have a harder time killing now, but that does not mean he can't kill. He still has his ability to combo very well at lower percents, and I don't think he's too terribly unviable because of the patch. I still think he's pretty good. The only thing about him though is his ability to kill, but I mean, like how Mario has his up smash and back throw, Luigi has the same thing, and plus some other powerful aerials too, like his back air and his neutral air. Finally, at the bottom of A, I put Meta Knight. The reason why is because Meta Knight has proven over and over again that he's able to compete with all of these great characters. He honestly has somewhat of a problem killing at higher percents, but at mid percents he has his up air to up B combo that's really hard to get out of. If you don't know the DI, like, you're screwed. He has the ability to really close out stocks effectively, honestly, and it's weird too because of how you know, something as linear as a dash attack, you know, like, can close out a stock like that. But he's a great character. I think he's A tier, and a lot of people do agree that he's A tier because of how well he performs in tournament. Now we're moving on to B tier, and in B tier I have put Rob, Pit, Dark Pit, Peach, Yoshi, Falcon, Olimar, Ike, Greninja, Wario, and Pac-Man. Rob is a very great character. He has shown nowadays that he has the ability to KO relatively easily with his gyro setups that Mr. Eric has made so popular nowadays. And because of those gyro setups, I wanted to put him very high in B tier because he's right outside the realm of A tier. The only thing about Rob, unfortunately, is that, you know, with against some characters, like, he gets comboed to oblivion. Oh my gosh, and he can get edge guarded pretty hard too. If the Rob player isn't able to recover correctly with his with the Robo Burner. But overall, I mean, he's so strong. He's such a strong character. But the only thing about him though is that some characters can give him an extremely hard time because of how well they can combo him. Next, I put Pit and Dark Pit. Overall, the characters are still very powerful. They still have the immaculate kill power that they do with their forward throw and their forward smash and up smash attacks. I guess the only thing about Pit and Dark Pit is, like, I guess the linear recovery, but then again, I have not seen too many people intercept their recoveries too much because you can side B or you can up B up to the stage. So overall, the characters are very powerful. Next, I put Peach. Peach is incredible. She is powerful. I guess the only thing about her though is that she's zoned out pretty easily, but because of how many cool setups that she has and how technical she is as a character and how well she's performed compared to these other characters that I put behind her, I put Peach right behind Dark Pit and Pit. I think she's a very viable character. I guess the only thing about her though is, like I said, how well she can be zoned out. Next, I put Yoshi. Yoshi has been on a wild ride on tier list. I'm almost had it with Yoshi because he always is like, oh my god, she's so great, he's so viable. Yet no one's proved it. And no one has still proved that people are getting up there with Yoshi. We're getting there, but I had to put him down because there's not enough results. There's not enough results up there. He's great, but no one is showing it. So that's why I put him below A tier and right down here in B tier because I think that is the perfect spot for a character that has not proven his worth. Next, I put Falcon. Falcon is good, but to me, I don't think that you can be that great of a character when you have a recovery like his. I mean, Falcon is good. Like, he has kill power and he has really great combos, and it can mix you up pretty well too with his extended dash dancing and really cool things, and his back air is there for on shield now. But I think because of that recovery being so bad, that honestly he's below Yoshi, but he's still B tier. He's still up there. He's still a great character. No, he's still gonna win sometimes. I mean, so he's okay. He's pretty okay. Next, I put Olimar. Olimar is great. It may be a little bit boring to watch at times, but I mean, he's still a great character. I guess the only thing about him is that you can get into his face pretty easily if the character or if the opponent knows how to get through his Pikmin wall. But otherwise, Olimar's a great character. I put Ike up here because of more recent results. There is someone named Ryuga and someone named Rio who does, they both do some really excellent things, like, and some other people do some great things with them too. Ike has some really nice low percent combos, and his ability to kill is incredible. He has a down throw that can kill at really higher percents if they get there, but before that point, you have back air, you have up air, you have a 50-50 read option too at mid percents where you can up throw someone and you can read their air dodge and then go for an up air. So he has the kill power. I guess the only thing about him though that makes him kind of is his recovery, because sometimes when the Ike player doesn't recover right below the ledge, they can get edge guarded pretty hard by projectile characters because all they need to do is keep on throwing stuff at him and he can't recover. But otherwise, he's a great character. I put Greninja next. He doesn't really have a lot of representation, unfortunately. I know he's a great character, but the only thing about him is his representation. That's really the only thing I can say about him, because he's good. It's just that there's no one out there proving that. Next, I put Wario. Wario has placed kind of well. There was a person named Reflex Wonder that placed very high at MLG, a pretty big tournament, like a pretty significant tournament too. So Wario is, he's pretty up there. He's a pretty viable character. And then finally, I've put Pac-Man. The only thing about Pac-Man that makes him almost C tier is his matchup against certain characters. Like, she can get into his face pretty hard, and Rosalina can negate his projectile game. And when you have matchups that are that polarizing, you know, it can really hinder your viability. But otherwise, he's a really great character, and you saw the Pac-Man vines more than likely. He can do some pretty cool things that are pretty hard to perform, but they can rack up some damage. Oh my gosh, and get some K. Oh my gosh, Pac-Man can do some amazing things. If you haven't seen the Pac-Man vines, you should Google Pac-Man vines and see what I'm talking about. Like that man. Woo! Pac-Man. Next in C tier, I have put Toon Link, Donkey Kong, Mega Man, Lucario, Roy, Lucas, Bowser Jr., Wii Fit Trainer, and Mii Brawler. You know, the thing with Toon Link is that he's so good. I really do think that Toon Link is a very viable character, and I think he's a lot more viable, or not a lot more viable, I think he's slightly more viable than the characters that I put in C tier. The only thing about him, though, is his matchups versus characters. Rosalina can be a little bit difficult, ZSS can be kind of difficult, and she can be kind of difficult, and so can Pikachu. But overall, I think that Toon Link can hold his own. He might need a secondary to back him up, but he's a great character, and I think a lot of people sleep on him. Donkey Kong has Ding Dong, and that's essentially why he's in C tier. But the only thing about that is that, you know, some characters can give him a really hard time. Like, all of these characters are great, but some characters can give them a hard time, which is why I put them here. So he's a really good character, though. His edge guarding is really nice too. It's just that his ability to get zoned out is pretty hardcore. Next, I put Mega Man. Mega Man's good. I mean, I don't have much to say about Mega Man. He's a great character. The only thing about him, however, is that not that many people play him, so you really can't see too many great things that Mega Man can do, and you really can't place high if no one's playing him. But Mega Man does have some really awesome kill setups. His zoning ability is really great, and his extra guarding is pretty good too. Next, we have Lucario. Very great character. The only thing about him, again, is representation, but I think that there's some matches that can give Lucario a pretty hard time. So I put him in C tier. Next, I put Roy. Now, Roy I don't think is B tier material, but I also don't think he's D tier material. So C is the perfect spot for him. The only thing about him, though, again, is that he can be zoned out pretty well. But I mean, I honestly think he's really nice. You know, I don't think that he's better than Ike at all, and I think at this point people have stopped thinking that Roy is better than Ike. I remember on the last tier list video, everyone was like, "Oh, Roy is so much better. I mean, you're stupid. I can't believe you put Roy lower than Ike. You're just ridiculous, and I have no idea what you're talking about. You just jumbled the Fire Emblem characters together." No, I didn't. I think that he's a better character, and he's shown now that he's a better character. So you can just leave me alone. Next up at Lucas. Lucas has been doing some pretty cool things, especially in NBVA with Paintbrush. The only thing with Lucas, however, though, is his grab is is bad. I wish he had a better grab because, oh my gosh, he'd be so much of a better character, but because his grab is... no, that hurt his viability quite a bit. But otherwise, he is a great character. Bowser Jr. has been doing some great things with Tweak. Tweak has really shown that the character is extremely viable, and he's done some pretty powerful things with Bowser Jr. He's plays really well too with him too. So I think Bowser Jr., that's a great spot for him. People used to think that he's bad, but I think he's proving nowadays that he's a lot better, and plus a lot more of his aerials are taper on shield because of the new shield mechanic. Wii Fit Trainer, my main. I think Wii Fit Trainer's combo game is astounding. I think Wii Fit Trainer's ability to zone out and camp is pretty powerful too. I really do think that Wii Fit Trainer can hold her own in tournament, but needs a couple of characters to help her out, and that's really... I think Wii Fit Trainer's up there, and John Numbers and Waveguider in Australia, who's actually the best in his country with Wii Fit Trainer in Australia, and Anti has lost a couple of matches with Wii Fit Trainer, but he and Waveguider and John Numbers, and how I've been doing with Wii Fit Trainer in my own local area, I think that C tier is a perfect spot for her, you know. I hope that eventually she can be put up a little bit higher with some bops one day. But, I mean, Wii Fit Trainer with the backer being safe on shield now, I mean, that makes her a lot better. And I honestly think with Deep Breathing too, she's good. You know, people keep on saying she's bad because of her weird hitboxes, but weird hitboxes don't mean anything when you can utilize the weird hitboxes that are weird and hard to punish because they are weird. And then finally I put Mii Brawler. Mii Brawler is annoying, and I don't like Mii Brawler at all. But Mii Brawler has the ability to KO pretty early with Helicopter Kick. This is assuming this is a normal sized Mii Brawler, and I'm assuming best customs for the character. And when I see mid-sized Mii Brawler, I don't think of a too polarizing character in my opinion. Like I think that without the small size, that all of the Miis are a lot worse, and no matter their moveset. And honestly, I think they're a lot more manageable to deal with too, because small Mii Brawler was ridiculous. But Mii Brawler, I think bottom of C tier is a pretty good spot considering the lack of interchangeable sizes. In D tier, I put Duck Hunt, Kirby, Robin, Game & Watch. Marth, Falco, Charizard, Bowser, and Little Mac. Now, honestly, I haven't seen a lot of Duck Hunt, which is annoying because I really want to see more people do more work with the character, because I know Duck Hunt has the potential to be pretty powerful. You know, the can is good. The ability to use the can even while you're stuck in a grab or in hit stun, that's a pretty big deal, and that thing can get you out of some combos, that thing can extend your combos, it can still extend your kill power. It's a pretty powerful option, but the only thing about it is that no one plays Duck Hunt, so it's pretty conflicting to know where to put him, so I just put him in D tier. I don't think he's a bad character, but I couldn't put him a little higher because there's no one playing him. Kirby, the only thing about Kirby that makes him not that great is his ability to approach. Kirby's approach game is really weak because of how slow his air movement is and how mediocre his running speed is. So Kirby it's hard for him to get in, but when he does though, he has some really great combos, and he has some pretty decent kill power too because of how down air can lead into kill moves. So overall, Kirby's a great character, it's just that he can't get in. Robin's great. There's someone in Florida named Dath, I do believe. I think his name is Dath, if I'm not mistaken. He has shown that Robin can do some pretty considerably great things. Robin can convert from kills off of Arc Fire, can get Nosferatus off of it, Arc Thunder. A lot of things Robin is able to do now. And plus, with the new shield mechanics, Robin has moves that are safer on shield, and Robin has the ability to go for a down throw to up air or forward throw or combos. It's amazing things Robin can do now. The only thing about it though is that Robin's grab range is awful, and Robin has a hard time getting in because of how slow Robin is, and the Arc Fire, you know, it's slow. Slowness is really what's rolling Robin back. If Robin was a little bit faster, would be a better character, but because Robin's so slow, put him in D tier. Next is Game & Watch. Don't think there's enough representation for the character, but I don't think the character is bad at all. That's pretty much the only thing though. Like, there's not enough footage and proof of Game & Watch being anything better or worse than these here. Marth and Falco. This was the hardest thing on this tier list. This is really the hardest thing on this tier list. Where to put which one? Because both of these characters are pretty mediocre. Falco has gotten a lot of improvements, but so has Marth. But they both have performed relatively you know? So the reason why I put Marth above Falco, and this is only between these two, Marth has a kill throw that's a lot more effective than Falco's. Falco's has to get the second hit of the blaster, and honestly, you can DI yourself to not be able to be hit by that laser, and if you don't get hit by it, then you won't die a lot of the times. And it's somewhat easier to avoid too. But with Marth up there, you can just kill. And then plus Marth has safer moves on shield, and Marth overall has a better approach and neutral game than Falco does. The only thing that really Falco has over Marth is the fact that he has a projectile, the fact that he can edge guard harder, and that's pretty much it, you know. And his combo game is a little bit more powerful too, but I can't really find too many things that dictates that Falco is better than Marth. That was by far the hardest thing. That's probably what I'm gonna get a lot of shit for too. I did a poll on Twitter too, and a lot more people said that. Well, not that many more people, but people said that Marth was better than Falco. I think the results was like 50-something%. I'll put it in a picture somewhere so you guys can see it. But people were saying that Marth is better than Falco, and I saw some pretty fair arguments. So next, after those two, I put Charizard. You know, this is another hard one too, Charizard and Bowser. The only thing really that makes this bad for Bowser is that, I mean, Bowser's recovery, it just makes him worse. Oh my gosh, it just makes him worse. He has a great up B out of shield, he has kill throws, he has the ability to edge guard pretty well with his neutral B, and he has this command grab. So all these things make Bowser pretty well, but it's just the fact that his recovery is so weak. It's really annoying. Like, and honestly, you can't really say that Bowser is better than Charizard, because Charizard just has better options in neutral, safer moves on shields, spacing options too. It's hard to edge guard him because of how his up B works. Overall, I think Charizard is a little bit better than Bowser, but both the characters I don't think are too bad. Like, they just need a secondary to back them up, but pretty fair spot in my opinion. And then finally, I put Little Mac. I put all these characters in this little chunk. These are the chunk characters that are just like, they're good, but then they're not, but they're not bad, and they just need secondaries and buffs, and like Falco, Marth, Charizard, Bowser, and Little Mac are honestly just that little box of characters that they'd stay together, you know. In my opinion, I think those characters just stay together. The only thing with Mac, obviously, is his recovery, which holds him back. But I think if the player can space correctly on the ground, using their Max awesome tilts, and his powerful smash attacks, using them at the right time. He has a down tilt to up B thing too that can kill pretty early. So overall, I think Max, he's not bad. You know, he's not bad at all, which is why I put him where he is. Okay, now we are starting to get down there. So in E tier, I put Dr. Mario, King Dedede, Link, Shulk, Lucina, Samus, Palutena, Zelda, Ganondorf, Mewtwo, and me, Gunner. Now, Dr. Mario, here's the thing about Dr. Mario. One of the best players, Nairo, who's a ZSS main, he beat the best Pikachu on Earth, currently, Esam, with Dr. Mario at a pretty big tournament called MLG. That is a pretty significant moment for the character. Honestly, like, even though you might put Dr. Mario like, well, he's bad, he can't, you know, the fact that he beat the best Pikachu on Earth is a pretty huge deal, and honestly, that made him a little bit better. The only thing about Dr. Mario, unfortunately, is that his recovery is really, really, really holding him back. Like, oh my gosh, his recovery is like the only thing that really holds him back. But that's why I put him at the top of E tier, because he's honestly at that verge of being viable-ish in D tier, but because of his recovery, like, that's why I put him in E tier. Next I put Dedede. Unfortunately enough, Dedede doesn't have enough representation. The only thing about him, though, from what I've seen, is that he's comboed pretty hard and doesn't have enough tools that can make up for that fact. Otherwise, though, he has some pretty cool setups, and he has throw combos, too. I don't think he has a kill throw that's that reliable, but other than that, I mean, there's not enough people out there showing me that Dedede isn't anything better than E tier, unfortunately. Well, I mean, I don't like the character, but you know what I'm saying. Next up at Link. Link is a lot worse than Toon Link, in my opinion, and I know some people might not like that. Well, he's my Hyrule Warrior. I think he's good. You just don't know what Link can do. Link can do all this cool stuff, and you're just a hater because you can't use him. No. Toon Link can move. Toon Link can maneuver. Toon Link can get around. Toon Link knows how to move. Link is slow. That is huge. His ability to move and maneuver is really bad. It's awful, actually, and he can't convert off of his projectiles as well as Toon Link can. Toon Link can convert off of a boomerang, he can convert off a bomb easily. Link doesn't have enough speed, unfortunately, to do that, and so his projectiles are just zoning tools, you know? They're not really kill-confirm moves. They're just kind of there. I mean, I'm not saying that he can't do that, because he can under some circumstances, but not to the extent that Toon Link can, and not with the consistency. And I think because of his slow movement, his ability to not combo as well up his projectiles, and his recovery, all those things combined, I don't think that Link is that great of a character, unfortunately. Next I put Shulk. Now here's the thing, I know that everyone was saying that Shulk is good and this and that. Shulk has not proven at all that he's good, you know? He hasn't. And when I look at the character, I think frame data. I know the Monato's there, and I know that you can change his arts, and wow, yeah, that's great. But his frame data, you can't change that, and that's really the important thing about Shulk, and that's really what holds him back. Yeah, he has the range, yeah, he has the power, he has the kill, he has this and that, but if the character gets beat out by everything because he's too slow, or can't get out of combos because he's too slow, he can't compete. Like, he can't compete when he's too slow. You need speed in this game. Like, you need good frame data in this game to be a good character, in my opinion, and he just doesn't have enough. Lucina, I don't think is that great because she hasn't performed as well as Marth has at all. And I know that they're different with a couple of things, but because Marth has done so much better than Lucina has, that's why I put Lucina a tier lower. They're not the same at all. You know, Marth's tipper effect nowadays is a lot more useful than Lucina, because now that shields have changed, Marth can have moves that are a lot safer on shield than Lucina, and Lucina just doesn't because she can't tipper. So now that Marth's a lot better against shields, that makes him a better character, in my opinion. I put him so close to Lucina on previous tier lists, but because of this whole new shielding thing, and because of how Lucina has performed in the tournament, that's why I put Lucina a tier lower than Marth. I know that might be a lot, like, super surprising to some people, but yeah, I don't... She's... With how shields work now, I don't think she's as great of a character. Now let's talk about Samus. Samus is a character that not a lot of people have seen, and I think for that reason, not a lot of people think that she's good. They go based upon, well, hitboxes are weird, her hitboxes are so strange. That's irrelevant. you gotta know what the character can do. And she can do some great things. You know, Samus has some moves that are safer on shield. She has that up air, which can lead into up Bs. I think it combos in up Bs too. So if you fall into people with up air with Samus, you can just spam up B, and usually it works. It's only not worked a few times from what I've seen and played. She can break shields pretty effectively too because of her side B and her neutral B, her charge shot. Those two things together can break a shield, and that's pretty powerful too. She has the ability to kill pretty well too with her back air. That move is insane. And honestly, she has combos off of her throws too. I think she has a couple of tools here and there. The only thing about her, unfortunately though, is I don't think she has enough speed. Like, if Samus had more speed, and honestly, if some of her hitboxes were a little bit better, then she would be a better character. And her side B is awful in terms of the amount of how long it takes. It takes, I think, like 73 frames to go through the whole side B animation with Samus. But otherwise, I don't think she's too bad, but I know she's going to need some characters to back her up in tournament, in my opinion. Next, Palutena. The reason why Palutena also isn't the worst too is because she can do things off of throws. The ability to combo off of a throw and kill off of a throw is a pretty big deal, and Palutena can do both of those things. Her forward air is a lot better now. It does more damage and thus it's safer on shield, and honestly she can zone well with it too. It's hard to punish Palutena's forward air if they space it correctly too. And I've seen a lot more Palutenas recently do a lot better because they've utilized the invincibility that her back air has and her dash attack. Both of those things are invincible, you know, those shield moves, they have invincibility on them, so people have been utilizing them, and I think Palutena can do fairly well in some matchups too with her side B. She can stop some zoning characters, but obviously she has her issues with how her speed is, and her roll is really bad. Like, her defense is not that great in my opinion, but she does have a couple of things going for her. Jab down tilt, she's not completely the worst character. No, I don't think that at all. Zelda I also don't think is the worst character, and really the reason why I think Zelda isn't that bad is because of her up smash, you know? That's why I didn't put her up top, bottom 5. Her up smash is too good. Her up smash is honestly, I think it makes the character, in my opinion. I think that up smash in particular really makes Zelda. She has low percent combos, right? And then all she needs to do is to rack up just a little bit more percent. Like, if she can get like 30% off of a throw, and then just rack up a little bit more damage by just poking here and there, all she needs to do is just maintain herself and maybe get some rage, and she can kill with up smash with relative ease. Often that move is great, and I think it makes Zelda like not the worst at all. And I mean, good for her. The only thing about her obviously is her hitboxes are a little bit and her speed is not enough. But her recovery is really good, and her combo game is pretty good at low percents, and she can kill. Ganondorf can't recover. He has moves that are safer on shield, but he can't recover, and he gets zoned out pretty easily, and he gets combo hard. Mewtwo. I was going to put Mewtwo as the worst character, but then I thought about how he has a kill throw, I thought about his combo game, and I thought about his range. I just don't like his weight at all. I just wish there was a lot more things that Mewtwo had that made him a better character, but at the moment in time, I don't think he has enough tools to make him better than what he is at the current moment. But again, I don't think he's the worst. With Mii Gunner, there's not enough people using Mii Gunner at all. And because Mii's have, I guess, been nerfed because of their default size, Mii Gunner just is not enough. I need more information on Mii Gunner to put Mii Gunner higher. So I put Mii Gunner as one of the lower tier characters because of what I've seen of the character, from what I've researched with the character. I don't think there's enough speed with her. I just don't think there's enough with Mii Gunner. I think Samus is a lot better than her. Finally, we have F tier, the worst characters in the game. You know who's here? Mii Sword Fighter and Jigglypuff. Mii Sword Fighter with the default size. That hurts him. Wow, that really hurts him a lot. Honestly, I don't know what else Mii Sword Fighter can do, and that's probably the reason why I put him so low too, because no one's using him. There's no one using him, and his size nerf really hurts him, and so for that reason I put him as the second worst character. I put Jigglypuff as the worst character in the game, and I know some of you might not like me for that, but you know what, I don't care, because I have good reasoning behind it. I wouldn't put Jigglypuff as the worst if I didn't really feel that she's the worst. I have no beef against the character. It's just I don't think that she has enough, and here's why. Jigglypuff is the lightest character in the game, so she's gonna die the earliest. I think that's a pretty big deal. The ability to survive is a really important thing in Smash games in general, and Jigglypuff can't survive as well when she's the lightest. Jigglypuff has no projectile, so she really doesn't have a great zoning capability. She can camp pretty hard and she can run away from you pretty well, but I don't think it amounts to much if she doesn't already have a lead. Because, I mean, yeah, Jigglypuff can time out people pretty well. I mean, I think she's one of the best characters in the game at timing people out, but otherwise, she can't really safely do damage. She has to get in there. She doesn't have any tools, really, besides her back air, and that's an if. That's kind of iffy. She really doesn't have any safe tools to get in on people. When Jigglypuff gets a grab, it barely means anything. Really, the only thing it means if you get a grab with Jigglypuff is that you possibly put someone off stage and you did damage. You're not going to get any kills, and you're not going to get any combos. So the fact that you just grab somebody doesn't really mean much. She doesn't get much off of grabs, so why? Her ground game is pretty much non-existent. The only thing she can really do on the ground is dash attack, or grab, or jab. She can jab into dash attack, which is pretty good, but the move has no range. Dash attack is very good. I think dash attack has some invincibility on it. I can kill too. But other than that, she can't really do much on the ground, and honestly, she can get up smashed with a shield pretty often, and sometimes she can get shield grabbed pretty often too. I just don't think Jigglypuff has enough tools to make her a better character. I think she's the worst. People say, oh my gosh, she has rest, and I know someone in the comments is tapping me right now. She has rest, and she has back air, and she has this, and she has that. First of all, you can't confirm into rest. So that pretty much means that if you can't confirm into rest, her ability to use that move is like how Bowser has the ability to forward smash, or how Falcon has the ability to Falcon punch. It's a frame 1 move, obviously, but you can't confirm into it. So it's a punish, yeah, and it's a pretty good punish because it's frame 1. But other than that, you can't confirm into that move. So I don't think it's really that great of an argument. Like, it's there, but when are you going to use it if someone makes a mistake? So you have to depend on someone to make a mistake in order to get off that move. I don't think that's not a selling point. That's not enough for me to make me think that she's that much better. All right, so that is my tier list. Please comment. I want to see comments. I want to see you guys discuss this. I want to see what you guys feel about this tier list. I want to hear what you have to say about it. Honestly, I feel that this is one of the better tier lists I've ever made. The hardest part about it, I think, was mid-tier. C and D tiers were like extremely hard to make, and Falco and Marth was extremely hard too. But overall, I think this tier list is pretty fair. I don't think Jigglypuff's that great. I really don't. Someone, I hope, go in tournament. Like, please go prove me wrong. Like, please prove to me that Jigglypuff can perform well in tournament, because I feel that me, Sword Fighter, and Jigs will never, ever win a tournament, ever. Unless, like, you're with a bunch of people that barely play Smash. Like, I don't think that Jigglypuff will win anything, ever. I can't see it. I cannot see Jigs winning anything at all. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, leave a comment, leave a like rating if you like the video. That really, really helps out a lot. And be sure to subscribe for more Smash Bros. Related content. I'm doing a Project M's Set Space Emissary run right now. When that's pretty fun. I really enjoy that. And I'm also doing an Undefeatable series right now. I'm going to be doing some other stuff here and there too later on. I got a new camera now, so I can actually do stuff with it. So, be sure to look out for that kind of stuff. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you each have an extremely wonderful day, and goodbye.